Hey besties, it is time for the 5th annual International Women's Day celebration on Friday, March 7th. Go online to iwd2025.eventbrite.com or go onto our website at hypegirl.us for all of the details. Look forward to seeing you there.
This episode is powered by Hype Girl. You can find them at hypegirl.us. Hype Girl is an amazing company that helps women all over the country locate other women just like them by community events and also finding ways to express your passions out in the world and be more of who you are because the world needs your magic. Today's episode of Do It Ugly is going to be called A Lady Never Spits. Things a Lady Should Never Do.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
Do it.
Welcome to the Do It Ugly podcast. Here are your hosts, Stacey Lyon and Jenny King.
I've been working really hard on trying to find some great episode titles for us.
I am so happy that you have been keeping an ongoing list. You guys, Jenny and I have the funnest phone conversations, and inevitably, at least once during those conversations, we stop and we're like, oh, we should be talking about this on air. Stop. Wait, we need to talk about this on the podcast. Yes. And then we move on with life and we forget what the heck it was that we were supposed to talk about on the podcast. So now she's being super responsible.
I'm trying.
Very proud of you. And she's keeping a list of all the things we say. Let's talk about that on the podcast.
Let's do it.
And so now that is how we got to where we are today with things a lady should never do.
Don't forget A Lady Never Spits. And I'll tell you how I came up with that title. So I'm sitting. So Sophie dances. So I'm sitting at dance practice.
Ballet dance.
She does ballet and jazz.
Very exciting.
She was doing tap, but she was like, I'm out. She decided tap was not her jam. But so I'm sitting there waiting on her to come out of dance. And this woman, or actually this family, pulls up. And Granny, in the right side, opens her car door and hawks the biggest loogie. I mean, I could see the loogie, Stacey. I could see it.
So repulsive.
And when I tell you that we were like a solid 5 car lengths away from each other. Mm-hmm. So she hawks this out of the door into the pavement and just shuts the door like it's the most natural thing to do. And I was literally sitting there like, ugh. And I was like, is there something wrong with me that is totally repulsive?
No,
and I'm not a complete prude.
That has nothing to do with being a prude. That is absolutely bad manners.
It's
and
foul,
disgusting.
right? Okay.
And I feel like my follow-up question for you, maybe because I'm not authentically a Southerner, was it tobacco that Granny was spitting, or was it sputum?
I mean, I didn't.
Is that the right word?
I didn't see her stuffing any like chew in her jaw, so I'm guessing it was just like phlegmy phlegm.
Granny could have been packing the.
Either way, gross
for sure.
And so it got me thinking. Okay, so things a lady should never do. I am not a person who is. We don't go to 5-star white glove restaurants every night. We're not doing the things that we were taught in finishing school, right? Like we all know not to put our elbows on the table, or at least we did, our generation. You put your napkin in your lap. You don't sing at the table. You speak respectfully. You pass, all these little like things that you're taught in etiquette if you've been to an etiquette class or whatever. But they don't teach that stuff anymore. And I was thinking, how did we get so far removed from this? But this was Granny, so Granny should have known better. But I'm just saying, like, what are the things, like, are there rules now? Are rules just gone?
To me, rules are generally passed down generationally, and you learn a lot of them at the dinner table. And since we've become such a busy society, people don't always have time to have family dinners around the table together.
Guilty.
And I know us too, because we're always on the run, taking one kid here, one kid there. It's very rare that we all eat together.
Yeah.
And some of that gets lost. And I know I could do a better job probably enforcing some of those rules for my kids, but they have learned, and this is funny, that when they eat at home, there's like one set of things that I don't want to say are acceptable, but they can get away with. But if we're going to eat at my mom and dad's house, they know there's a whole nother set of rules. And I have to remind them in the car, like, okay, we're eating at Mimi and Pop's. Remember your table manners.
Well, I know that I have done a horrible job in parlaying the things that I was taught, because sometimes I sit at the table and Jay and Sophie have this thing that they do. They do it on purpose to piss me off. They take their fork and they hold it like it's a shovel and they shovel it in.
Is that funny?
Because they think it's hysterical, and it makes me so mad. Of all the things I could get angry about, I know that's so elementary or whatever. But It irks
You
my
know what? I would
nerves.
only give them spoons from now on. I would hide all the forks, and if they
They
want
would
to eat
still
like
use
that,
it as a shovel.
that's more
But they
acceptable
don't
with
really
a spoon though than a
But
fork.
that's the thing; they don't really eat that way. But so as I'm watching them, sometimes I'm like, I don't know that we could ever go to like a like if the president invited us for dinner, I don't think we could attend because I think Sophie would have no idea what to do. I failed her deeply. But so yeah, it just makes me laugh. I'm like, oh my God, I need to do a better job.
I feel like there are some general etiquette rules, though, that you need to learn if you're going into a professional environment and you're going to be dining with clients or with your boss.
Yeah.
I mean, not always fancy restaurant, but like certain things, napkin in the lap, learning which utensil to eat with.
Yes, I agree.
There are certain things that you should do.
Well, and there are some creators online who do great content around how to be demure, on social media. The word demure has been very
driving
popular.
me crazy. That's not what demure means.
No, it's not. And I told Sophie, I was like, do you know what demure?
demure, so mindful.
So cutesy. I know.
Oh my God.
I get
I
it.
can't.
But I'm just saying. So like there are a lot of creators out there who actually make really beautiful content about how to walk well as a woman, how to have great posture, how you should walk into a room if you're walking with a gentleman, like if you're walking on the sidewalk, who should be on the outside next to the traffic, like things that people just don't practice anymore. And they get a lot of flack. Like people give them a lot of shit for sharing this content. They're like, I'm a independent woman. I don't need this. And I'm like, I get it, right? I'm an independent babe. You are too. We do a lot of stuff. But I'll be honest, I miss so much of that. I'm like, that would be can you imagine how cool we would be as a society if we went back to some of that?
I think people, in my opinion, kind of misplace their anger when it comes to that. Like, am I capable of opening a door? Of course I am. However, is it nice to have someone hold the door for you, man or woman, when you're coming out? I always look behind me to see if someone else is coming and either hold the door, you kind of like pass the door from one person to another. It's just general kindness to people around you. It has nothing to do with your ability to succeed as a woman in this world.
Same.
It's like,
I agree.
Come on, people.
I know. I watched somebody do that yesterday. They just shut the door in front of somebody right behind them. And I was like, in what world do we live in that we just shut people out? It was just bizarre. Okay, so let's go back to it then. So thinking about all of the etiquette things, because here's the thing that you guys need to know about Stacey and me. So Stacey is much fancier than me. And even though my mother did a beautiful job of making sure that I got etiquette lessons, because she always told me as a kid, you should be able to dine with a pauper and a prince, like always be able to do both. And but you've been through some very formal training, I believe.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
So thinking about your
Stop it.
thinking about your
Stop it. I have not been through formal training.
I feel like
I mean,
feel like
the
you have. But it's
school
okay.
of mom.
Okay, well, mom apparently had a very rigorous curriculum. But anyway, so what's the thing if you're like, okay, thinking about how wild women are in the world today, what's the one major thing that you would like to see come back as far as like an etiquette rule?
I don't know that I can think of one thing. You always put me on the spot with the one thing.
I know, but you're so good at it.
There's several things.
Okay, you can say
but
more
I'll
than
tell
one.
you one thing that just popped into my mind
Okay.
because I experienced it recently.
Okay.
And that is back in my day when a group of girls went out together. If you went out together, you came home together. You don't leave anyone behind.
Yes.
There was a girl code.
Yeah, for sure.
And you stuck together and you looked out for one another.
Yes.
And you never left anyone behind or let them leave with someone else.
Yeah.
And, you guys did not leave the venue, even if you were going to miss curfew, whatever it was, until everyone was safe and you were all together.
Yes, you would never let your friend take an Uber on her own somewhere.
Never,
Yeah.
never, never. Is that a thing of the past? I don't know. I just feel like nowadays people are extremely independent and they're very much, I'll just catch an Uber by myself. But I don't know. It doesn't feel super safe if you're out and what's the word? Imbibing alcohol. Let me try to spit out my.
There have been no drinks consumed today other than a Diet Coke. But that's okay. Yeah, no. But I agree, especially being the moms of daughters who at some point are inevitably going to be out enjoying and indulging at some place somewhere.
Let's bring it back. Let's look out for one another, keeping everybody safe, making sure everybody's, happy, healthy, one piece, got home the way they left, all those good things.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, that's enough about that. On to other things. I'm just trying to think of other things that have been happening to me this week. Sex house. It's so funny. I was dying when I talked to him this morning, by the way. And can you imagine the realtor?
Oh.
Sorry, am I heading back to the sex house?
Going back to the sex house,
Can you imagine sweet, innocent Don Hovis was there to take pictures? And I'm like, don't look. Close your eyes. Don't do it. this room.
That's so funny. Who was the realtor? That's funny.
So it's a big, like, fancy,
really funny.
fancy ass party. And
Well, look, rich people like to get down too.
you have no idea. So then he shared with me that there is a sheet that they hand you in the what color loofah to hang on your golf cart or the front of your house, depending on what you're into. So other people know that if it's like yellow, you like to watch. If it's purple, you're open to others joining. If you're whatever. Apparently this is a real thing. And I had no idea.
And it's from the official or it's like something like their own welcome committee has created?
It's not like officially like, welcome to the community.
I was like, is
Here's
that part of your
loofah.
sales packet, your purchase packet?
No, but apparently
Which loofah would
it's,
you like?
I'm guessing like there's a subgroup of neighbors that go around and they try to suss out the new people. Like, are you into it? Are you whatever? Here's your assigned loofah. Anyway, I'll digress. It's been a really interesting week, Jenny.
That sounds like a really interesting week.
How can a stubborn chin hair ruin an entire mood?
I don't care if it's stubborn or not. I want to know why she's there and who invited her. Okay? Because nobody has told my brain that I'm not 20. And since when do we have chin hairs? And neck hairs? Do you have neck hairs?
I have one right here, and it gets really long and curly. And I don't know if it's because I have terrible eyesight that I can't see her. It's bad. It's to the point now where I have to have travel tweezers in my purse. I'm officially that old. I have readers and I have travel tweezers.
I don't have readers yet, but I do generally have tweezers around. But it's a thing because I can remember being in my teens and 20s and my mom would be like in the mirror in the car plucking them. And I'd be like, oh my God, that's never going to happen to me. Ew. And I'm like, you little bitch, where'd you come from?
And you know what? It's like you're in the sunshine of the car and you can always see them way better than in your bathroom mirror in the house. It's like they just reflect that little...
Oh, no, I don't ever see them. You see them? I always feel them. Like I'll be rubbing my chin. I'll be like, wait, what?
So it depends where they are, to be honest with you. I've got one nasty one here on the mole on the side of my face, and I can see her because she's like thick and dark.
Do you feel
Anyway.
like God gave us chin hairs to keep us humble?
I think perhaps he did. He did.
Why, Lord? Why, Lord? Why?
Because it was like, okay, I didn't give you the thigh gap, and just to double down and make sure that you're going to stay good girls, I'm going to give you a chin hair on top, like the cherry on top, the chin hair on top.
I just don't know what to do with it because it's come from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm dark. You're blonde. Tell me again, are you naturally blonde or are you a little naturally dark? Tell me the truth. I can't remember.
I'll never admit this, Jennifer King.
Ooh, I'm in trouble.
I have been blonde more years than I haven't.
Okay, so not a natural blonde. Got it. So when you're not a natural blonde, even though you're a beautiful blonde, but when you're not a natural blonde, you tend to have dark hairs in places, meaning that like the stash is dark. Do you have a stash?
Occasionally, I get just a couple of stragglers.
What are those things that they call like the dermaplaners that really you should probably only have done by a professional, but they now sell them in the CVS. You can dermaplane your own face. It's like the knives. Do you know them?
Yes, I've seen them.
Oh,
but
I love
you know
them.
what? I can't make myself use one, and you want to know why?
Why?
Like many things in my life that I want to do that sound like fun.
Why?
My mother's voice is in the back of my head telling me if you shave it, it will grow back thicker and darker.
False.
And I know that's not true, and
It's
they've
false,
proven
yeah.
it wrong. But it's been too many years that I was like programmed.
Oh, no. You need to do this because when I tell you that your makeup will look so much different after you do it and your skincare feels different. Yes.
Really?
But I digress. So, yeah. So when you're dark-headed,
Okay.
your darker hair is a thing. And my husband finds it hysterical when they start sprouting to like point it out. And I'm like, I love that you still want me, even though I apparently have a stash and a beard in my mid-40s.
Feel it when he kisses you that you have a mustache? Like,
I don't know, but the thought makes me want to go, ugh. I don't know.
I've been curious to try, I don't remember what they're called, but it's like the home electrolysis little laser things. Do you know the ones that I'm talking about? They're like all over my internet ads for them. They're like little handheld. They look like your cell phone, but you like zap your face and it like supposed to kill the hair at the root so it never grows back. And I'm curious to try these because I would do basically my entire body except for my head of hair, my eyebrows, my eyelashes. I think I would like zap everything else in my body.
No, I have not seen these, but I have a 3-prong approach to handling this problem.
Oh,
the problem
tell
is that
me.
I get sidetracked and forget to do it. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh shit, I literally almost have a full stash today. What's happening? But so for the stash, and ladies, don't feel unsexy if you have it. We all are dealing with it. And if you're not, we hate you, bitch. I'm just kidding. We love you. I have this thing that's really an eyebrow trimmer that has like a little blade kind of thing that's underneath it looks like a microphone tip.
Okay.
But there's like a blade whirling around it there somewhere. So that takes care of the stash really nicely. And then for the chin hairs, we have a great pair of tweezers. Feel free to invest in a good pair. They're not going to be $3 for the good ones.
Right.
And then the dermaplane for these.
Okay. I got a pair of tweezers, and you're going to laugh because I'm going to say like 25 years ago, and I still have them, and they're my favorite pair.
They're so good, aren't they?
Because in the middle of the part that you squeeze, there was like a little pinpoint flashlight. So it would like shine on the hair so you could see it when you were trying to pluck it. Well, the battery died years and years and years ago, and it's like a proprietary size or something.
Oh.
So I can't get it. And I look everywhere. Every now and then I look on Amazon. Like I'm constantly searching. So if anyone has seen a pair of tweezers that has the little built-in flashlight, please let me know where you have gotten them because they are life-changing.
I have never heard of that, but they sound very cool.
I feel like I want to go run upstairs and get them right now because you're
To show me.
underestimating.
How cool they are.
Yeah.
Shame on the women before us who didn't prepare us for the fact that this was coming. Like, I know I saw it, but I didn't know it was coming for me too. Like, I thought that was just a really gross thing that old women dealt with.
Right.
And now that I'm old and in my mid 40s, nobody told me.
Yeah, there's so many things that happened to me in my aging body that I feel like I was not prepared for. And like you said, I saw it happen to my mom and my grandma, but I just assumed it was like an old people thing. And it was because they didn't do what they were supposed to do to take care of something. It never occurred to me that I was going to have to deal with this too.
Yeah, but the chin hair is just rude. Like, I could be having an amazing day. My makeup, I'm feeling like, okay, my makeup's looking good. And then I'm like, no. And don't you know that every time I find one in the middle of the day, I can't find my tweezers. They've been misplaced. Every time.
I will say the chin hairs have picked up in speed. Like when I would pluck one, it used to be like maybe a good week before it would grow back. Now I only get a couple days out of it. I don't know about you, but it's like they're fighting for their lives and they just are like, no, I'm busting through.
Gosh. Yeah, it's a thing. Is there anything else like that you feel like when you're having a good day that it just like pops up out of nowhere and messes with you like a chin hair can? Or is that kind of like the pinnacle of the things?
That's a really good question. I mean, there's lots of things that stink as we're aging. Like I feel like my eyelashes are falling out and they don't grow back as quickly.
Oh, I have not
I don't know if
experienced
you've had
that. No.
I mean, since I have a good 10 years on you, hold on to your hat. I do feel like my leg hair does not grow back as quickly. And I'm super thankful for that because I don't want to have to shave every day like I used to. So, I mean, it used to be if I shaved in the morning, by the afternoon, I had a little stubble coming back through.
Yeah.
Now I can go maybe a week.
Good for you.
That's kind of nice. I mean, I don't know if this has anything to do with crazy ass hormones or not, but
who knows?
that's kind of a nice thing.
My thing is I just don't want to shave anymore, so I don't really pay attention to leg hair.
Well,
just
that's
don't
one
wanna
of my
do it.
favorite things about colder
So
weather
gross.
is because, God bless him, Mike Line puts up with this. Like when pants season hits, I'm not shaving again until shorts or dress seasons come about. Like unless it's a special occasion, because it doesn't get bad anymore. Like when I was younger, I could never do that. But
Yeah.
now it just doesn't get that bad. And eventually it gets soft. If you let it go long enough, the hair just gets soft and it's fine. I'm looking at your eyebrows right now. What's going on up there?
I don't know. What's wrong with them?
I don't know. What's going on up there? They look different.
I drew them in this morning, so to
Is that
draw them
why?
in different, I don't know.
They look different than they
I
usually
use
do.
an eyebrow pencil every
Is
morning.
that why? Mm-hmm. Are they thinner than
Because
you
I
usually draw them on?
Oh, could be because I overplucked them in the 90s.
Same.
I had beautiful Brooke Shields eyebrows when I was young.
Really?
Like beautiful. Yeah, they were gorgeous. And I overplucked them because I lacked so much confidence in my brows.
Well, that was also just the trend. I mean, I think we all overplucked in the early 90s.
Do you
'cause
wax?
That's what my eyebrows?
Anything.
No. Occasionally. I don't keep up with it.
Okay.
I use the tweezers. And now that my eyesight's gone, I can't really see when I need to. So if you do see me with a random stray eyebrow, just don't look. Just let me go.
I will never, ever be waxed ever again, which is really hard for me because at some point I would like to do a Brazilian before I turn 60. I want to try it
I've
like
always
one
tried,
time.
but I'm scared of the pain.
So ready?
Yeah.
It's some.
No, Kelly Clarkson! Okay. All right. No, seriously. I think I'm done. Ooh, I think we're done. I think that's good.
I want to try. I mean, I feel like it's something I should do for myself and for my husband at some point.
Cold wax, hot wax. Like, I feel like there's
I don't know
so
how
many
they,
different
I don't know how they do
ways
it.
to do it.
I have no idea, but I'll never have wax on my face ever again.
Why?
So when I was in high school for my senior prom, not my junior prom, because we weren't like super beauty conscious and we didn't do a lot of waxing and stuff, we didn't really know. I shouldn't say we weren't beauty conscious. I was in pageants and stuff when I was a kid. So I never like really did. That's a whole different episode. But
What?
yeah, I was
Wait,
little.
news alert. You never have told me this ever before.
I was wee Little Miss Walmart and
You better stop.
Little Miss Surfside when
You
I
better
was
stop
a kid.
right now.
Yes, I know.
How old?
Do you feel like you're connected to a celebrity?
I
now?
feel like I don't even know you anymore is what's happening right now. I'm
I'll
like
have to-
horrified.
I'll have to show. Oh, it was fantastic, but the pageant moms were horrible. But anyway, I digress. So we did know a lot of beauty things, but I didn't like practice them. Like, for example, I didn't know how to curl my own hair until I was 38. Like, it took
Okay.
me a really long time to understand that skill. But so senior prom, my mom booked me a wax appointment day of. Wax was so hot, ripped my skin off, and I looked like a burn victim at my prom, like across the stash and above my eyebrows, red marks, skin gone, makeup would not stick. And I have been horrified by the thought of being waxed.
I need to
ever
see your
since.
prom picture.
Oh, it's awful.
I need to see it.
It's
stat.
terrible. It's terrible.
I'm so sorry.
And it felt terrible.
I'm sorry. That's not usually
okay.
the way that it goes. Now, occasionally, and I'm going to say like, I don't know, a handful of times a year, I will have my eyebrows waxed. It's not something I do anymore. Now, I used to go to the salon every week. I'd have my eyebrows waxed, my nail done, pedicure, the whole thing. I'm not in that routine anymore. Is that terrible?
I don't know, but I feel like I have a pretty decent beauty routine. But I'm trying not to let things like a chin hair ruin it when it pops
Yeah.
up. But it so can, depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing, especially if I feel like I really showed
Well,
out.
once I feel it, then I can't keep my hands off of it. And I will just constantly keep rubbing it. Like I have one right here that now I felt it. It will drive me insane.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I can't stop like rubbing my finger across it. And
Well, I know. That's what I've been doing across from you here this last like 30 minutes. I keep rubbing
Thank you
this little
for
sucker right here. You're welcome.
bringing this one to my attention
You're
right
so
here.
welcome.
Totally appreciate that. I don't know. Aging is not for the faint of heart.
All right. So are we telling the chin hair to kick rocks? Is that what we're doing? We're not giving it power. We're saying bye chin hair.
1000%.
Hello, tweezers.
All right, ladies. Thanks for spending another episode with us today. We had a lot of fun together.
We love you, besties, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you for hanging along and going down this rabbit hole of a ride with us. We'll definitely see you next time.
Love you. Bye.
Hey Hype Squad, it's Mel. Have an idea for an upcoming show topic? Want to ask a question or comment on something crazy my mom or Aunt Jenny have said? Or do you just want to learn more about upcoming events? Visit us at hypegirl.us.
We seriously do have the best producer.
He makes us sound so smart.